Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Janie again. Oh, I'm so excited about our story about Joseph. You remember yesterday his brothers beat him up and put him in a well because they were jealous. Oh my. Well, you remember they sold Joseph to the merchants that were traveling, and Joseph ended up in prison. Oh my goodness, Joseph ended up in prison. And Joseph worked in prison for a man named Potiphar. And while Joseph was there, Potiphar's wife, she wanted Joseph to do some horrible things, and Joseph just flat out refused. He said, "No, I'm not doing it." Any of you ever stood your ground when somebody wanted you to do something bad? Yes, we stand up for what we believe in. And so Joseph was in prison. And one day in the prison, here came two men. There was two men. One of them was the winemaker for the king. Oh my. And here he was in prison. And the other one was the butler. He was the king's butler. Oh my goodness. And you know, while they were in prison, one morning they got up, and both those men looked so perplexed. They were just something wrong, something out of the ordinary. And Joseph said, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And they said, "Well, we had dreams, and we don't know what they mean." And the winemaker said, "I had a dream about grapes, and there was branches, and I squeezed out the grapes into the king's cup, and I gave it to him." And Joseph thought on that, because, you know, Joseph still believed in God and believed that God would help him decipher what these dreams were. And the other one said, "I had a dream, and there was a basket of food, but the birds came down and ate it, and they kept eating and eating and eating. What does that mean?" And Joseph said, well, to the winemaker, he said, "I'm going to tell you about your dream, but you're not going to like it." He said, "You're going to be released from prison." He said, "You're going to get out of here, but in 3 days, you're going to be put to death." Oh my. Well, that wasn't the news the winemaker wanted. But Joseph said, that's what your dream means. And the butler said, "Well, I don't know if I want to hear about mine or not, but go ahead and tell me." And Joseph said, "Well, your dream means that you are going to continue working for the king. You're going to get out of prison, but you're going back to your job in the palace." Oh my. The butler was happy. The winemaker was sad. Oh my. Isn't it something? Well, it came to pass. The winemaker in 3 days got out of prison and was put to death. Oh my, that's exactly what Joseph told him. The butler, he got out of prison, and the king called him and said, "Come on back to work. Come on back to work." Oh my goodness. All these things that Joseph said. But Joseph told the butler before he left, he said, "Mr. Butler," he said, "when you get back to the palace, would you put in a good word for me? Would you just tell somebody that I was able to help you? And maybe I'll get out of prison too." Well, the butler got out of prison and he left. But you know what? As soon as he got back to the palace and into his job, he forgot all about Joseph. Oh, boys and girls, do you sometimes think people have forgotten all about you? During this time when we're quarantined at home, when we're hardly allowed to get out and everything, sometimes it's easy to feel like people have forgotten all about us. But you know what? God never forgets. He never forgets. Friends might forget, but God never forgets because you are so special to Him and He loves you so much. So, right now, Joseph's still in prison. Is he going to have to spend the rest of his life in jail? Oh my. Boys and girls, come back tomorrow and let's find out. What's Joseph's next adventure? See you tomorrow.